Modern day media is something that will always change, and in this day and age, it has changed into something that tries to grasp our attention span by adding epic fights, tame characters that do more to act flamboyant, and just come off as robots programmed to say whatever is on the viewer's mind, or do the unexpected that was expected 20 minutes into the episode. But something that sets most modern media apart from older pieces of media is morality. You're probably wondering what this has to do with my point, but morality underpins our daily decisions. Whether we help someone or interact with others, it's always based on our sense of right and wrong. This concept was rigorously tested in older media. A main character, a group of people, an organization driven on doing the most morally screwed up stuff to get on top and leave no room for the opposition to take it back. A show with violence that is used to pull on the strings of the viewers and even in the end, question our morality. Buckle in, as it's time to take a breeze through the insane, deranged, and frantic world of Black Lagoon. Black Lagoon starts off with our protagonist experiencing his life falling apart. The company he had dedicated himself to, living, breathing, and likely prepared to die for, abandoned him, leaving him at the mercy of pirates. This is a typical move by a Japanese company, leaving their employees to fend for themselves despite their exhausting, relentless work environments. Rock reaches a breaking point and decides to stand up for himself for the first time in his life. In this moment, we are also introduced to the rest of the Black Lagoon crew. Dutch, the leader, is cool, calm, and collected, adept at keeping conflicts from escalating. Before Rock, the last person to join was Benny, the tech-savvy mechanic. And last but not least is
Revi, the crazy, insane, psychotic sharpshooter, and I wouldn't have it any other way, as she is the heart of the show. The manga Rei Haori especially put a lot of time into the complexity of Revi. From a young age, being abused and beaten by her father, we had learnt during that time that she would frequently pray to God, but this would slowly fade as her life had gotten worse. Later, she was arrested by the police and sexually assaulted, this being Revi's breaking point, going on to kill her father. Throughout the show, we are reminded of this through the feathers, as that was the pillow she had used to put on her father after shooting his brains out. The feathers also symbolize any form of happiness and also tyranny from her father leaving her, which is also ironic, as the feathers are the only things that are a reminder of it. With the introduction of the Black Lagoon Company, we are also introduced to three major factions that operate within Roanapur. First being the most notable and by far the biggest out of the three, the Russian Mafia, owned by Balalaika, a prominent character in Black Lagoon. She oftentimes helps the group in sticky situations such as season 1 with Roberta. She and the Russian Mafia also play a major part in the Japan arc. Second being the Rip-Off Church, owned by Sister Yolanda. This church is notable for being a place that's used to trade weapons, and something that is meant to keep hidden being drugs. One standout character, Edda, being a part of the CIA while being a criminal. Yeah, don't ask me how that works. Edda is also a close ally to specifically Revi, being rivals, at the same time a duo seen in the season with the two twin children, and yes, I said twin children, that go around killing people, but we'll get to that later. And the last being the Triads, owned by Mr. Chang. One detail people overlook out of every character in the whole show is Revi actually respects him, taking his advice and critiques. A well-known theory amongst the fans is that Mr. Chang in the past was Revi's mentor and had taught her how to use her pistols and fight.
While I prefer season 2 of Black Lagoon due to its two compelling arcs, the Twin arc and the Japan arc, season 1 was essential for introducing us to the main group and the underground world they inhabit. But there's one character from season 1 who really stands out, Roberta. You know, the seemingly innocent, clumsy maid searching for a young master Garcia. Turns out, she's actually a relentless killing machine. Even though Roberta appears to be the biggest menace with how unrealistically overpowered she is, there's more to her as a person. Roberta's story arc might be one of the few instances I've seen where a character's redemption involves exposing their truly irredeemable actions. Despite everything, Garcia accepts her. We get this flashback showing how she met his father. Deep down, Roberta was a scared, insecure wreck, seeking solace in the one person who could see past the monster she thought she was. Despite Roberta being an obvious nod to the Terminator, she's not just a killing machine ready to say hasta la vista. At the end of the day, she's still human. She longs to keep her good, maid-like sight intact. This is beautifully shown when she asks Garcia to pick up her glasses, a souvenir, a reminder of who she once was.
Season 2 might be what honestly made Black Lagoon one of my favourite animes of all time. To this day, some of the scenes still stick with me, and I've never had this experience before with media. It feels like I finally woke up when watching this season. I think the best place to start is the first arc with the twins. If you watched Black Lagoon, you know exactly what I mean by these twins are straight demons. How are you going to tell me 100 plus people could not stop these twins? And in the end, Balalaika had to clear them out with one of the coldest executions I've ever seen. The twins' backstory follows the two of them living in an orphanage. They were abused and made to kill other children to survive, and that's why they decided to go on a rampage in Roanapur. And then that leads them to Balalaika executing them for killing one of her comrades. This whole arc was made even more weird when they would change between the two, as the boy states that they are the same. This is also shown when the girl is later killed, changing to her brother. The second arc and the final arc of the show, not including Roberta's blood trail, is the Japan arc. This arc's tone, setting and overall feel is something I didn't know Black Lagoon was capable of. The great undertone of Japan in comparison to the sunny, bright Roanapur is kind of funny, because a place filled with criminals is somehow portrayed better than a place filled with normal people, trying to show it's a place without freedom. A character that was the center point of the Japan arc was Yukio, and her relationship with Rock, from a normal schoolgirl to then being the head of a Yakuza family, then for her just to become a monster in the end, projecting her pain onto Rock to make him feel like this was his fault. And to be honest, it wasn't. Not at all. Rock made the right choices and actively stopped the Russians from proceeding to do worse than to what they initially planned to do. I think an additional character that helped Yuki was Genji. Genji's character was a really good counter towards Revi's style. Due to their duo fight at the bowling alley to then Revi's fight with him at the docks was unique, because at the end of the fight, Genji was just used by Yuki. As Rock says, they could have moved on and had a normal life, but she chose not to. And Revi at the end looking at Rock, telling him not to look at her, was a great choice in writing, because it wasn't his fault, and this was a choice that she made alone because she rejected a life that was better.